Welcome everyone to the 2019-2020 George Mason Women's Basketball Preview. I'm Bill Rowland, and joining me in her 7th year, we were just talking about how quick time goes, Coach. Nyla Milleson joining me. Coach, we're sitting here before we get to your team. I got to get to these new digs. This place is amazing. Talk to me about your new locker room here.
It's incredible. What a great addition to our program. And you know, we got a little sneak preview at the end of the year last year, but we're in fully now. Our film room has been awesome to be able to have team meetings, watch film. The girls love what's on the other side of this wall, and it's just been it's been an incredible addition.
Now, coaches always talk about having the amenities and the bells and whistles and everything else, and that's great. The kids love all those things. But for you, how does it help your coaching, your staff, to be able to get this program moving forward?
Always helps from a recruiting aspect to be able to show them accommodations like this. But I think the current team just really gives them a feel of home. It gives them a place to go. And I mentioned the film room earlier, but to be able to have team meetings, to be able to watch film and not have to roll a TV around and find a room and those sort of things, we have a place to call home.
You also were able to go on one of those trips that all the teams love to take. One every 4 years. You guys went off to Italy. Talk to me about that bonding experience for your team and getting to play some basketball in the summer. Amazing.
Probably the most amazing basketball trip I've been on in my 30-plus years of coaching, both on and off of the floor. You know, from a basketball standpoint, obviously you get your 10 days of practice before you go, so that's always a bonus. Trying to get 6 freshmen into the mix is big. But over there, the style of play is so physical. So I think we did a great job of adjusting to that. I think we showed some grit and some toughness that I maybe haven't seen from this team before. So that was very much a positive. And then the things we got to do off the floor, 4 beautiful cities, the team bonding, the team chemistry, all of the things that go along with it. It was an A+ experience.
You mentioned the 6 freshmen, but you've got a couple of seniors, and also, of course, your junior coming back this year. They're going to be the core of things. Cardaño-Hillary, Jacy, Bolton. Talk to me about them, how they're having to bring these freshmen along and the expectations of these freshmen to mix in with your older upperclassmen.
Yeah, we have 5 returning starters, and not many teams can say that, and really a 6th that got some starting time. So a pretty experienced group, particularly at the guard spot. And it starts with senior Jacy Bolton and returning A-10 Player of the Year in Nikki. So two great players that are leading the way. I think you'd be remiss if you didn't throw Sarah Kaminsky in the mix. She's a 3-year starter, you know, has done a lot of really, really good things, very versatile player for us. So we feel good with our core back, but at the same time, we're going to have some freshmen in the mix in order for us to really reach those big, lofty goals that we have. But it definitely starts with the leadership from our upperclassmen.
You talk about bringing back all 5 starters. Looking at the numbers, it's something like 94% of your scoring, like 90% of your rebound. I mean, numbers that most teams around the country would love to have coming back. You've got all that. Does this put more pressure, you think, on those kids returning and saying, hey, look, we've been good the last couple of years. This is now a time to go even further than we have?
I don't think it's pressure to them, and it's certainly not to our coaching staff. It's the excitement of why you do this. But in terms of sheer numbers, it is. But I think they're also very realistic to know that, particularly at the post group, from a size standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, bringing more length, bringing more depth to our program, that our freshmen are going to have to step up and have an impact in what we do at the end of the day to be able to reach goals.
Say, Coach Nyla Milleson, we'll come back, talk a little bit about the schedule coming up with her. But first, I want to take a little time to have some fun with Jacy Bolton and the junior, reigning A-10 Player of the Year, Cardaño-Hillary.
This is Mason Jeopardy! Let's meet our contestants. A 5'7" junior guard from Madrid, Spain, Nicole Cardaño-Hillary. A 6'8" mascot from Mason Nation, the Patriot. A 6-foot senior guard from Drexel, Missouri, Jacy Bolton. And now, here's your host, Bill Rowland.
Thanks, Steve. Folks, we've got a great show for you today with 3 fantastic contestants. So let's not waste any time and get right to today's categories. campus construction, mark your calendar, GPS, broken records, stat pack, and A10 mascots. Jacy won the toss backstage, so she'll select first.
Let's do stat pack for 200.
The percentage of points, rebounds, and assists Mason's roster returns this season. Jacy.
What is 95, 89, and 94?
I would imagine few teams return as much as the Patriots this season.
It's great to have majority of our scoring and our people come back just from the experience and the knowledge that we have, so it'll help us go later in the tournament, hopefully come March.
All right, next category.
Let's do GPS for 400.
While not quite the UN, Mason's roster boasts players from these 4 foreign countries. Nikki.
What is Australia, the Netherlands, Spain, and Finland?
How do you mix all those different backgrounds into a successful team?
It's pretty amazing to have all the different cultures on and off the court. We get to experience all these different cultures even if it's just by one person, so it really brings the team together.
All right, next selection.
Same category for 600.
These 4 Italian cities played host to Mason this summer on the team's foreign tour. Nikki.
What is Rome, Venice, Como, and Florence?
Sounds like it was an amazing trip.
Man, it was incredible. Something I will never forget. We had a great time. The whole team got together. We also got to play a game, so that was a very big advantage to be able to play in August.
All right, what's your next selection?
Mark your calendar for 400.
This ACC opponent will visit Eagle Bank Arena on November 10th, one of 2 Power 5 schools on the schedule. Jacy.
Who is Virginia Tech Hokies?
That's a rematch from your 2018 NIT game.
It is. We're very excited to get them again and hopefully on our home court and first game of the season, so we'll have a good crowd and a lot of energy and hopefully start our season off well.
All right, what's your next selection?
Let's do broken records for 200.
The Virginia College Savings Plan shares the amount of points Nicole Cardaño-Hillary needs to become Mason's all-time leading scorer. Nikki.
What is 529?
You're on track to break that record this year. What will that mean to you?
It'll mean the world. Being able to do this with my team and getting those honors are truly, truly incredible.
All right, what's your next selection?
Let's stay with broken records for 800.
The amount of home wins for the Patriots over the last 2 seasons, a school record. Jacy.
What is 27?
What makes your team so tough at home these past 2 seasons?
Being at home, we have a good crowd and good energy, especially from the Green Machine, and that just fires us up every game that we get at home.
Next answer?
Let's do stat pack for 600.
This Patriot led the A10 in scoring at over 20 points a game and also led the conference in free throw attempts with 200. Nikki.
Who's me?
Correct. You also won A10 Player of the Year. How do you build on such a great season?
I mean, honestly, it just encourages me and my team to go for that A10 conference and hopefully see how far we can get after that.
All right, what's your next selection?
Mark your calendar for 1,000.
There are no shortcuts to cutting down the nets at the A10 tournament to be played at this arena in March. Jacy.
What is UD Arena?
Mason's never won a conference championship before, so what changes this year?
We're bringing back majority of our scoring, and that gives us the more experience, and so we're just more hungry this year to go out and get one.
That sound means we're out of time. Thanks to all of our players today, and good luck to the women's basketball team this upcoming season. For all of us here at Mason Jeopardy, thanks for watching. And thanks to Jacy and Nikki for being good sports. That was a lot of fun getting them to play a little Jeopardy there.
What a
preview.
What a 2 great young women that we have in our program.
So you open up on the road, but your first home game is going to be quite the test for your team. November 10th here at Eagle Bank Arena. You've got a Power 5 conference team coming in Virginia Tech, a rematch from your NIT game a couple years ago. We're
really excited about our schedule and to be able to open at home against a Power 5 in Virginia Tech. We've got a little bit of history with them, and if you remember, we beat Virginia Tech one year on our home floor several years ago, so a great way to open the home slate.
Of course, at the back end of the schedule, everybody wants to be there in Dayton. The A10 tournament starts in Dayton on the 6th. After, of course, you have the home dates, the campus sites on the 2nd. What does your team have to do? In this history, Mason's been to 2 conference championships, never been able to punch that ticket. This team, what do they have to do to be there that final weekend in Dayton?
I think consistency is going to be a big key for us. One of the things we struggled with last year, and I think a lot of it was lack of depth, we just were not able to finish strong in games. We had the fourth quarter lead in a number of games, including the first 3 conference games, and we started this conference season 0-3. So I think finishing strong is going to be important, but just staying together, staying healthy, doing what we have worked on from day one.
Last thing for you, Coach, if there's one thread that runs through your team, if there's one thing that somebody's coming out to watch them play during this season, is there something that you can say, hey, I know each and every night we're going to be a good shooting team, we're not going to turn the ball over, we're going to be a great rebounding team? I'm sure you'd love to be all of those things, but what's the main thread that you've seen so far with this team?
I would say from an intangible standpoint, I think just the togetherness. I think this group really does have good team chemistry, and we've built that over the last couple of years. So I think that's just the cohesiveness that we have. But I think we're going to be a great rebounding team again, and that's kind of been one of our trademarks the last couple of years. But particularly with the depth and the athleticism we've added, I think rebounding is really going to be a key for us.
Head coach Nyla Milleson entering her 7th year with the George Mason women's basketball program. Their first home game comes up on November 10th right here at Eagle Bank Arena.